The United States has lifted its economic sanctions against Liberia. Liberia's Information Minister Louis Brown says the lifting of the sanctions should inspire confidence that Liberia is a country open and ready for development. In a letter to the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives and the President of the Senate, President Barack Obama said Liberia has made advances to promote democracy and the orderly development of its political, administrative, and economic institutions. Obama cited Liberia's 2 consecutive democratic elections, the conviction of former President Charles Taylor, and what he called the diminished ability of those connected to Taylor to undermine Liberia's progress, as well as the lifting of UN assets freeze on Liberia. Now, Liberia's Vice President Joseph Boakai was in Washington this week, where he signed a multi-million-dollar compact. In an in-depth interview with VOA's James Buddy, he talked about the significance of the compact and a host of other issues. VOA's Zoe Leoudaki reports.
Vice President Joseph Boakai was part of the delegation that signed a $257 million Millennium Challenge Corporation compact at the U.S. State Department. He said part of the money will be used on infrastructure projects such as electricity and roads, which is key to Liberia's development. He added that the compact is very significant because it is also about
governance. And it does underscore the fact that we are trying to do our best to put the right institutions into place.
Critics, however, expressed doubts that this will solve Liberia's electricity problem that has persisted for decades. Mr. Boakai argues that Liberia's problem did not just start 10 years ago.
We inherited that problem, and it's not that we are not doing anything about it. Just about the time the hydro project was to commence, that's when the Ebola fell, and everybody left the country. There are other facilities put into place, like the HFO machines that are put into place that will be able to provide more than 40 megawatts of electricity. So electricity is on the go.
As Liberia enters a post-Ebola era, Mr. Boakai says care centers are in place to monitor people recovering from the deadly virus.
We are putting into place the infrastructure necessary to contain the situation and also to make sure that Liberians do not go through this, not just for Ebola, but epidemic in general. So the basic infrastructure for the prevention and also the immediate arrest of Ebola and the recoveries, that's what we're doing now.
Boakai stresses that the investment climate in Liberia is gradually starting to recover as the country enters this post-Ebola period.
Liberia had a sizable investment in the country pre to Ebola. Since then, we've seen a lot of these investors coming back in the agriculture sector, the oil palm industry, and the activities have recommenced, and I am aware that in the agriculture and the mining sector, things are going on.
And as the Western African country moves forward, there is a call to limit the length of presidential terms.
I believe Liberians will have to rethink. We are not America. We are not superpower. Liberians and African countries should consider themselves as countries that are still trying to build. Our people need to understand who we are and the challenges we have.
Mr. Boakai explained that rebuilding the country's infrastructure is a lengthy process and one that may often extend beyond a presidential term. The Liberian vice president also announced that he will run for the top seat to succeed President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf during the 2017 presidential elections. He said he is running on Sirleaf government's record that includes peace, infrastructure development, and freedom of the press. This is Zoe Leoudaki for Africa 54.
Well, I want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we covered. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com.